Hey guys, I'm going to be doing a review on Season 1 of the TV show, Fallen. So, before I head into my thoughts and feelings on this first season of Fallen, just a quick disclaimer, quick warning. I don't plan on having any sort of spoilers in this video, so continue as you will. That being said, though, if you've seen this show, if you've read the book series that this is based off of, feel free to talk about things down in the comment section. Share. So yeah, let's get going. This TV show actually aired back in 2024, but I think over in Europe, because on IMDb it sounds like this is a Swiss produced show. I might be mistaken about that, but there were several countries attached to this show, because like Switzerland was attached to this show and Germany, but I think it was produced in Switzerland, I think. I might be mistaken about that. IMDb was a little confusing with some of the details. So it actually aired over in Europe first in 2024, like the tail end of 2024, and it finally came over here to AMC Plus in America, kind of at the start of this year, and just recently ended. So what you need to know about this TV series: it is based on a series of very popular young adult novels by Lauren Kate. The very first book was called Fallen, and it was published in 2009, and there was actually a movie adaptation of this series made several years ago. I can't quite remember the year, but it was made several years ago, but it was not very popular and it was not really well received. So yeah, years after that movie came out, we now have like this TV show adaptation, which I think probably better suits the book series. So the plot synopsis for this TV show: Luce is sent to Sword and Cross, a rehabilitation center for troubled young people, where she must serve time for a crime she doesn't remember committing. She soon realizes there is more to this center than what appears. And this first season is done in 8 episodes, which I think was a good amount of episodes, but also at the same time, I almost wonder if it needed just a couple more, or if that would have felt like it was stretching things a little too much. I'm not quite sure, because I've not read the books. Let me throw that out there. I have not read this book series. I kind of really don't have any intention or plan of reading them, to be quite honest. I'm kind of just happy watching the TV show. And yeah, from what I understand, book readers, there's quite a few things about this TV show that are different, but they kind of like some of those changes, is my understanding. It's like there's changes that they do like and changes that they don't like. And I initially really quite liked this show. I think the first half of the season, I was really on board. I was hooked. I was engaged. I really liked the characters. I really liked the relationships amongst all the different characters. I liked kind of the intriguing mystery of this show. You know, what is up with this rehabilitation center? Because there's something off about it that you can't quite put your finger on, you know, because you definitely get like the staff, you're constantly going to the staff, and there's always something kind of weird going on with the staff, and it's like, what are they up to? What are they hiding? What secrets are they holding? And then, yeah, I mean, even all the young people in this show, all the young characters, they all have really kind of traumatic, troubled backstories, and there's things about their characters that are kind of odd as well that you can't quite put your finger on. So I liked kind of this intriguing mystery going on with the rehabilitation center itself, the characters, the staff, the young people. There was a lot of really interesting things going on in this show, so I was really initially hooked, which kind of surprised me. It being a young adult show, and sometimes young adult shows are very hit or miss for me. So I really loved the front half of the show, and I think the front half was very smooth and really well done and really well executed. I think the front half of the show took its time building up the mystery and building up the characters, so that way as things start kind of going crazy in the last half, you really are tied to these characters emotionally, and you understand their strengths and weaknesses and the things that make them tick, you know, the things they're willing to do. So the second half of the show, I still enjoyed the second half, but I feel like the second half of this season was very sloppy. And if you've seen the show, you could let me know how you feel about that. There was just something incredibly sloppy about the last half of this show. Because I feel like all of a sudden, there were certain plot elements thrown in that weren't very well explained, or they were expecting you to understand, or something. I don't know. And for another thing, I feel like all of a sudden in the second half, it almost seemed like it was definitely catering to book fans. Like, you all know what's going on. We don't need to explain anything. Which, for me, that was kind of bad, because like I said, I've not read these books, and I kind of really didn't entirely understand what was going on, and I feel like I was missing something. And the thing is, these books did come out, the series, the book series, it did come out back in 2009, and I have kind of been slightly spoiled about a few things because, you know, just in passing, being on like BookTube and watching video reviews for books, I have seen the Fallen book series. It has popped up before, and I've heard people talk about the series before. So I kind of had a few spoilery things revealed to me. But those spoilery things, without me spoiling what those things are in this video, those spoilery things were never brought up in the show, I don't think. So I'm kind of confused now about exactly what the hell this show is about and what's going on, because is it what I think it is? Does that make sense? Once again, it's like I can't go into spoilers. I can't describe to you guys what I'm trying to get across here. So I feel like I was missing something in the second half. I feel like things were kind of revealed, but not really. Or if they were expecting book readers to understand. But again, I'm not a book reader, so I felt like I was left hanging and tossed to the wayside to some degree. So I'm kind of conflicted about how I feel about this show, because I do think the front half of the show is really well done and really well executed. But yeah, that second half, it got a little sloppy, and just certain things going on. Again, I was very, very terribly confused. I mean, all of that being said, I'm still looking forward to a second season. I definitely want to watch a second season and see where things are going, and maybe things will be better clarified. Hopefully. I don't know. So, just going through the cast quickly, really quick here, we have Jessica Alexander playing our main character of Luce. Luce is brought to Sword and Cross, this rehabilitation center. She's being brought there because they're saying she committed a crime, but she doesn't remember committing this crime, and she's supposed to spend a couple years here. Her sentence at this rehabilitation center, it's like a couple years. And of course, she's young. She doesn't want to be here whatsoever for something she doesn't even remember. She definitely feels like a prisoner here. She wants to get back out into the world and live her life. And of course, Luce being our main character, she is the one who starts figuring out there's some just weird things going on at this rehabilitation center. There's just something weird about the staff. There's something weird about her fellow, inmates, if you will. She starts kind of unraveling things and figuring things out. She's the one who starts kind of noticing some of the weird happenings. And then we have, I am not sure how to pronounce his name, because I think he's from Denmark. Gilsblom. He plays Daniel. I have seen this actor in only one other thing. He was in a really nice Netflix show called A Letter for the King, and he's like the main villain in that show, and I loved him on that show, so I was really happy to see him on this show. But yeah, Daniel, he's also at this rehabilitation center. He has his own kind of backstory going on. That's really shocking and surprising once certain aspects get revealed. And of course, he becomes a love interest to Luce. Obviously, it's young adults, you guys. It's young people. They're gonna be all hooking up. Yeah, I liked Daniel. Him and Luce definitely had a really nice chemistry. I just like the two of them working together. You know, they worked really well together, their personalities and whatnot. And then Timothy Inns plays Cam, kind of the bad boy of the group. I love Timothy Inns. Timothy Inns was actually one of the big reasons I wanted to watch this show, because I loved his character on the Netflix TV show The Last Kingdom. He was so wonderful in that show, so I'm glad he got another show. Yeah, Cam, like I said, he's kind of the bad boy of the group. He's definitely up to some stuff that gets revealed. There's kind of a bit of a romantic thing there between him and Luce, so you have a bit of a love triangle. It never totally gets explored. It's kind of hinted and teased at, so I'm curious if there's going to be a bigger love triangle going on. But yeah, I love the character of Cam. We have Josephine Koenig, who plays Ariane. Ariane, the sweetest thing. She needs to be protected at all costs, you guys. Once again, everyone here has their own tragic backstory, and yet Ariane has her very tragic backstory as well. And she just wants to be liked, she wants to be loved, she wants like true friendship, you know, and she kind of gets a little obsessive about Luce. We have Esme Kingdom, who plays Penn. Penn is another character. I adored her. She needed to be just protected at all costs. Yeah, guys. Penn is she's one of the most normal people. She's always kind of really happy and pleasant and willing to do her bit and do what needs to be done. And then getting into some of the adult cast here, we have Alexander Siddig, who plays Dr. Howson. I really liked Alexander Siddig in this show. He's always just such a compelling actor, and he really worked for me. He really did a great job of kind of this mystery of Dr. Howson. You know, is Dr. Howson a good guy? Is he a bad guy? What's going on here? What is kind of his end game? What is his purpose with this rehabilitation center? We have Sarah Niles. She is playing twins on this show, Miriam and Sophia, and I liked the design of each twin, because at any given time you know exactly which twin is which. They both have different personalities, they both have very different looks, and yeah, definitely all the kudos to Sarah Niles for pulling that off. You know, because sometimes when if one actor is playing twins or triplets or something, they have to be able to pull it off, and I think Sarah Niles definitely pulled it off, just with her acting alone, and then yeah, with the help of like wardrobe and makeup and everything, it helped. But yeah, she's like another staff member at this rehabilitation center as well, and yeah, I definitely liked both characters that she was playing. And then we have James Callis, of all people, in this show, you guys. He is literally in like one episode, but he's credited in every single episode, so I'm not quite sure what was going on there. James Callis, he plays Penn, the character of Penn. He plays her dad, Edward, and there's something kind of strange going on there that gets explored in one particular episode, but that's kind of just it. It's one episode, and I was kind of frustrated with that, because I was really looking forward to seeing James Callis on this show, and he really didn't do much of anything except for one particular episode. Again, it's like, why is he credited in the cast credits every single episode when he was really just in like one episode? So that was kind of confusing, unless there's something else going on that I'm not aware of. But yeah, I always really like James Callis when he pops up in stuff. Seriously, his character Baltar on Battlestar Galactica, my favorite character. So yeah, in conclusion with the show, you guys, I do feel really terribly conflicted about the show, because the front half, what really worked about the front half really worked for me, and I really enjoyed. But yeah, like I said, that second half, I just don't know what happened to the second half, because it felt a little sloppy, and it kind of fell apart. It got confusing, and I felt like I was expected to understand what was going on, and that just didn't make no sort of sense to me, what the show was expecting. But I'm still looking forward to a second season. Hopefully we get a second season with this, because I'm curious where things are going, you know, what the ultimate end game this series is, and you know, where all the characters are going and where the relationships are going. So yeah, guys, that is it for my thoughts and feelings on the Fallen TV adaptation. In the comments below, have you guys seen this particular adaptation? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Just let me know your thoughts down below. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye, guys.